Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by while we get Mr. Folks back on the phone.
But I say the first person that retired in 2004. In the meantime, I served on the County Board of Education until it was dissolved. I was elected to it. I was elected to the University City Board of Education. I was elected a trustee for the St. Louis Community College Board. I did a Fulbright in India.
Now, what is a Fulbright? What's a Fulbright?
Yeah, it's a program under the government of the United States. They give scholarships for foreign study and exchanges. So I was given one to study in India.
Wow.
And so I did that in '82. And the year before that, I got a scholarship to go to Dartmouth to study there for once this summer of '82. So that was mainly I was with in '97, I was appointed by the governor of Senegal, the honorary consul. Senegal, the country of Senegal, be an honorary consul.
Now, where's Senegal?
West Africa. It's in West Africa. If you look at the bulge of Africa on the west side, that part that sticks out the furthest is Senegal.
Okay.
If most presidents, when they go to Africa, end up going to Senegal first.
Why is that?
Because it's the closest. It had the slave trade, and it's a peaceful country, and it's a good tourist attraction, and so there's a lot of reason to go there. And so we had a sister, and we started a sister city program with St. Louis, Senegal. They have a St. Louis. It's over 100 years older than St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Senegal was the capital of all French West Africa. And St. Louis was the capital of all Upper Louisiana territory in the United States. And so,
the Louisiana Purchase.
Right, so we had a lot of things in common. So, did a book.
Also, Dr. Let me digress. What is the Sister City program? What is that?
It's a program put together by Sister Cities International. Communities find cities that they have mutual friendships with, and they develop a relationship. Some of that is educational exchange, some is cultural exchange, some is business exchange, and so it varies on the relationships what you develop, and it goes on with a variety of tentacles. Students go abroad to study in these different sister cities. We have, I think, 11 sister cities.
Wow.
We have Nanjing, China, Georgetown, Guyana, and we have a bunch of sister cities. Stuttgart, Germany. But they all have sister city relationships. You have students who go back and forth. You have business people who go back and forth. And so it varies.
Yeah, I know, Dr. Wright, when I was working in the mayor's office many years ago, that I was fortunate enough, to be a part of, some of the people visit our country, and and to be, and it was very interesting, how important it is culturally, to see how other people live and have similar we are at the same time. Not that different.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I was elected, in 2007, After while I was retired, I've been retired 3 years. I was asked to serve as interim superintendent of a Normandy school district.
We just got a new superintendent, by the way.
And I heard. And so I did that for a year. The day I left Normandy, I was asked to serve as interim for St. Louis Public Schools.
Yes.
While they did their search. And so I did that. So the day I left Normandy, the next day I was in St. Louis. And so I did that for several months. And then, since then, I've been home. The mayor asked me to serve as school board for 3 months while they have the election because of resignation. And I did that. So that's kind of my thing. I was a leadership program for the Institute for Educational Leadership. I did that as co-coordinator for a number of years. And in my alumni program, I took the graduates to countries all over the world.
And also, Dr. Scott, now people think that man's been a very busy man, okay? But how many books have you written about St. Louis?
17.
Okay. So actually, you know, and the books, okay. I can't say they're self-explanatory, but you can see the books that you write that they are at a level that anybody can comprehend what you're reading. That's how I'm about. You know, they're not always automatic. I don't understand that. You know, and tell us some of the communities that you've written, some of the books that you've written about, Dr. Wright.
Well, the one I have is, I'm trying to update it. There's 2 editions now. This would be the third. Discovering African American St. Louis, a guide to historic sites. And it covers the whole St. Louis area, East St. Louis, goes all the way to Pacific, Missouri. And it talks about important sites in all these surrounding areas. So it's about 280 to 90 some in the book. And so I'm about ready to put about 100 more sites in.
But Dr. Scott, you know, one of the things that's in that Chamber of Commerce, we were getting down in the city of Haytown, Missouri, you know, which is about 20 miles from St. Louis. And it's probably one of the poorest, probably the poorest city in the state of Missouri. And in that community, back in the 1960s, back years ago, I said, okay, they created the first Negro school district, you know, in the state of Missouri. And that was, you know, when they did it, okay, 300-something miles, okay, they were the only blacks, probably before that, okay, but you know, they started that a long time ago. And I worked with the Alumni Association down in Haytack, and I just was amazed, okay, that how black education, you know, has been sparsely all across the state. Why is that?
Well, we were a slave state. It wasn't until we did the Constitution that the state said we had to be educated. Other than that, it was against the law. We passed a law in 1847 that it was illegal to teach us how to read and write.
Say it again?
The law was passed by the state in 1847 that it was illegal for us to be taught how to read and write.
Oh my God.
So, you know, it's a situation where if people learn how to read and write, they may want their freedom.
Wow.
And so you make sure people don't know their rights. And they were terrorized. In the early 1800s, we had a lynching where 3 men were lynched, hung. I think 4 of them were hung. Their heads were cut off and put in the drugstore window on display.
Oh my God. Where was it at?
It was downtown St. Louis. It's in one of my books, Discovering African American St. Louis.
Wow.
It's also in the book I just finished with my sons civil rights in St. Louis. It talks about that. We have a man who was burned alive. He drug out of jail, tied to a tree, and burned alive downtown St. Louis.
Oh my God.
There's a picture. There's a drawing of him being burned in the book.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. What year was that?
Oh, you pushing me, brother. Let's see. I can tell you both of them. Let me see. I got one of my books in front of me. Let me get my book out in front of me here. No, I don't have that much time on earth, so I can't just take my time. I got to make all my minutes count now.
Okay.
I'm in the twilight.
I hear you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1836. The name was Francis McIntosh. He was drug out of this, and that's on page 12 of my book. So if you want to know more, you need to get the book. And the four Negroes executed. That was in 1841. 75% of the town came out to see that execution.
Now, that's why help me understand this, okay? Usually they came over and this was something they kind of publicized, come watch the lynching.
What's that?
Guys, they come out, they publicize, they go to have a lynching. Most of my lynching was spontaneous.
I've got executed, I've got a copy of the flyer.
Wow.
It's in the book. You got to buy the book now.
Well, I'm going to get a book. I guess it's
right to St. Louis. And their heads were cut off and put in the drugstore window downtown.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus, okay. But go ahead, Doc. I'm sorry. I'm digesting that. Okay.
Huh?
I'm just digesting that. You know, that's deep.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it was. I mean, so, and we're in the hustle. You know, we're in slavery, housing, everything else. You know, it's just Dred Scott decision.
Okay, tell us about the Dred Scott decision. How did that change things over the country?
Well, Dred Scott was taking, you know, once you're taken into free territory, you're free if you're a slave. They had taken him into free territory, so he sued for his freedom, he and his wife. So he went to court. So while he was in court for years, you know, while you're in court, they let him work. He and his wife worked. And their money was saved by the sheriff, which meant he had a little money from doing. He and his wife, Harriet, had money built up, which didn't belong to them. It belonged to the court because they were rented out. See, St. Louis, we didn't need farmers and all. We didn't farmers. So the slaves were allowed to rent themselves out.
Whoa.
Some of them were able to keep money as long as they stayed out of trouble because the owners didn't want them. They were given to them by family members. They said, go, stay out of trouble, make yourself unnoticed. Don't let people see you around. And so they went out and made money. And they paid the farmers, the former slave owners, the owners. Elizabeth Keckley, she was owned by a family. And she made that money by her and her son's freedom.
Okay.
She ended up being in the White House.
Right,
She was a friend of Mary Todd Lincoln. So when President Lincoln was killed, Mary Todd called Elizabeth first. Said, why aren't you here? I need you here.
I can't really good about that, yes, sir.
Yeah. So now,
Tell people again. No, tell people again. What was her name again?
Elizabeth Keckley.
Okay.
She's in the book.
That's a name. That's what I'm saying. That's a name. I read about it, but that's, I mean, but I didn't even work. I guess, well, Dr. Wright, I have to ask this question to you because you probably one of the best persons to answer this question. Around the country, even here in the state of Missouri, okay, there's a fight right now about telling Black history. I just like doing all those, Black on the culture and all that. There's a fight right now not tell Black history in this country. The state of Missouri right now trying to pass some laws, okay, to prevent that. I know, man. Can you tell me why is that?
Because you don't know your situation, you won't fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know your history, you'll fight.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to talk about the history.
Mm-hmm.
And those who can read it, don't read it. They say the best way to keep a secret from some folks, put it in a book.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Put it in the book. They'll never know it if you just put it in the book. Just put it in the book, and it's good for life because they won't ever pick the book up.
Yeah, matter of fact, that's the thing when they do, what people do, they put it in the newspaper every day. And people sit and they don't read what's going on else.
No. You got people who aren't interested.
Right. I'm talking to people every day. I get away with that, and then that's just one version, okay, what's going on. But I've had to seek out the other side of it, okay. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in government and that stuff over the years. And I know there's always two sides in the story that you're going to read about, okay. And it's one that they're writing about. That's their opinion, what they're writing about. It's their version of the story.
But you got to go beyond the newspaper. When I did the thing on Kenlock, I wrote a book on Kenlock. I got a friend of mine worked at the Post.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a printout of every article written about Kenlock.
Wow.
Out of that whole stack, there are only 3 positive articles.
Oh, my God.
When papers print problems about Black folks, the papers sell. We sell newspapers.
We sell newspapers. We not have we allowed that, okay. Right down, this young man that was brutally killed in Memphis right now. All the TV stations, all the cable stations, all the news stations, all the newspapers, they all right now are talking about that.
Right. Because
and the fact they got Black people doing it, they got Black folks they can talk about.
Right. If it was white, it wouldn't be talked about that much.
No,
but it's up to us to push.
Yes.
We want to be violent, but push. We do that by knowing our rights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have to do that. We can't sleep. Freedom is only when we learn how to bake. Freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free. It's nothing but frosting on somebody else's cake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not unless we learn how to bake. We just have to persist and vote.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
And vote, yeah. We end up not voting, not caring, and we wonder why we're in the situation. We got to make a difference by being informed. And whites in trouble too. You can hustle whites. You can hustle whites. You can take anything away from whites as long as they think it's hurting Black folks. When I moved to Pagedale in 64. 64 I moved to Pagedale. I lived on Whitney. That's the only block blacks could live on. They were living there since the turn of the century. The blocks off of Whitney were all white. I remember Gregan was one of the streets off of Whitney. It's around 65, 66. They sold one house to a black person. Then the whole block went black in a few months. Now the name of the game, because they're building homes in Florissant.
Yes.
Now they need some folks to buy homes in Florissant. So you need, how you gonna do that? You gotta scare some white folks. And how you do that? You tell blacks, because we've been stuck in the old, run-down neighborhood. We tell them, we got a nice place for you to go. Got grass, nice school system. Then you tell the white, they're coming. You're coming, your house is $15,000 this year, maybe next year, maybe 10. So you better get out of here. And I got a nice place out in the county where you can go. You don't have to worry about them. So the dealer, the real estate dealer, made them sell their home, move to further out, with a promise, and no black folks. Black folks, well, we'll put you in a nice neighborhood, grass, and nice home, brick house. We'll get you out here. And so that's the way it goes. Now the game is playing out because right now, St. Louis is empty almost, We're down to 325,000. Lots of vacant lots. St. Louis County is losing folks. White folks are going to St. Charles. And some of them leaving St. Charles to go to St. Peter's.
Even they're going to Ocala.
And so,
those are rural areas.
well, it was rural areas. It's getting good.
It was.
Boy, we should have put the white folks out there.
You know, Scott, you know what amazes me, okay? That, that you said, St. Louis is, but right now, there's all type of construction going on in the city of St. Louis. Downtown St. Louis, Central West End St. Louis, and, lofts all over the place. And those people from those areas that went way out, okay, are coming back to St. Louis. And my interpretation that I tell people all the time is the reason they want to come back, okay, that they travel the country. They don't say I'm from Ocala, Missouri. They don't say I'm from St. Peter's. They don't say I'm from St. Charles. They say I'm from St. Louis. And now in St. Louis, okay, people say, why? Well, the baseball team plays downtown. Football teams are playing downtown. Other people are playing downtown at the arena. They have concerts. This museum, is in St. Louis City. Charles to go out there. I go down the whole list, okay? And people want to get closer to those venues. They're driving 2 or 3 hours to go back and forth to them right now. They want to come back to the city for those conveniences.
Right now, the goal is to get immigrants. Because there's not enough. They don't count on white folks coming to fill that void. We had close to 100,000 people at one time in St. Louis. And so there are not enough folks going to come back to fill that void. And so if they're building apartments, because apartments, you make more money off of that than housing.
Oh, I know you do.
And so we're going to get, you still got to figure out who's going to get all this land and stuff. We may even have more parks in the county, in the city now.
Yes.
The golf course in the city. Because you can't fill all this space. Someone had talked before the government project, they were talking about making Pruitt-Igoe site a golf course.
Yeah, I know they were. I know they were, And people are aware of Pruitt. I said, what's this about Pruitt-Igoe? The history behind that.
Well, highways and downtown slum area. And the government gave money to build Pruitt-Igoe. Black folks, Igoe for whites.
I'm getting ahead of myself, okay? Why not let's start with the Mill Creek area first, okay? That was the first that area was black community that was so artistic about the young people giving the vote. I think we did go to Fudago.
Well, because of segregation, we lived in certain parts of the city. It's not. We were confined to that area. The real estate. There's an ad in a book I did for the Urban League that talks about the realtors agreed there are going to be Negro sections, and they weren't going to rent or sell houses or anything else except in those Negro sections. And so then you want to redevelop downtown, you got to find a place for us to go. So we built Fudago.
There we go. Yes, sir. That's our feet up to yes.
And so it was all those thousands of people, but no services. Elevator stopped on every other floor.
And these are high rises, right?
High rise, yes.
Yeah. This is supposed to be a model for the rest of the country, by the way.
And it failed. They blew it up. It was so bad it blew up.
Blew it up, yes.
Now you can read about that in my book now, if you buy one.
We're gonna say we gonna keep that. They can't say they don't know, okay, or they can. It's in a book. It's in a book. It's in a book. We gonna say it's in a book. Okay. Okay. But Dr. Wright, I guess the thing, okay, that that right now, okay, you're not aware, well, you and I are aware, but there's a book called oh my God, came out by a gentleman some years ago, and it escapes me right now. But he actually talked for the first time about a secret that no one will talk about. We don't talk about it even right now, but there was like an inner circle around St. Louis, okay, that they don't call it that because like the cities that are around St. Louis, the borders, okay, because in St. Louis, it was counted years ago. It's in the inner ring like Kinlock, like U City, what's that? Wellston. Paysdale, and all those, in that inner ring. Tell us about that, sir.
Well, I don't know about the inner ring. I know U City fought back, and they didn't give in to realtors. And that's nationally. So Jewish communities, educated Jewish communities, succeed where others fail. And they fought back. Prices of value went down in the home. Now people who moved away can't afford to come back to your city.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah.
So Wellston, they're tearing it down, but they're building. But Wellston has high poverty, income, industry. All that thing we used to call Wellston, the Wellston Loop, most of that was in St. Louis.
Yes, it was.
Until you pass Holdeman, you didn't get to Wellston. That Wellston Loop was mostly St. Louis.
Yeah, where the bus stop was.
Yeah, that was right. That's when you begin to get to the county after you get to the bus stop. But it was all St. Louis. J.C. Penney was there, and a few other places.
Cat's drugstore was big.
Yeah. That's where the Loop thing was. Cat's drugstore. Yeah, so, but that's about it, my brother. I'm gonna have to get me some lunch here now.
Okay, well, Dr. Wright, I just wanted to come on because I met you a couple of times, and every time I'm a person I love history myself. I just by the way, tell us a little bit about your family before you leave, okay? I know you don't mind.
What can I tell you about what?
A little about your family, if you don't mind.
Well, I have 3 sons.
Okay.
And they're married. They all live in St. Louis.
Okay.
I have 9 grandchildren.
Congratulations.
2 of my sons have gotten their doctorate degrees.
Congratulations.
And One's retired. Can you believe that? I got a son who's retired.
That's when you're blessed. That's when you're blessed.
Oh man, I mean, I'm getting old. I mean, retired, you know.
Getting better.
So their kids have gone to college. One's in Washington D.C. making good money. Another one's waiting on the thing to go back to work on her doctorate in community health. Another, two others are. One of them waiting on her master. Two of them working on their masters. And so I've got one, got two, three. I got three, four working on their masters, and one getting working on a doctorate. Yeah. And so one son's married to an Ethiopian girl. One's married to a white girl. One's married to a young lady who's a doctor whose family is Creole.
Okay. Well, I'm Creole myself. Yeah.
So their family in Louisiana.
Creole and Blackfoot.
From the South.
So,
Yes, sir.
That's from the South. From the South.
yeah. So according to my grandfather, said he's part Blackfoot, and my grandmother was Cherokee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's and black, you know. So that's how that goes. So
And what about your beautiful wife? You know,
she's from Mississippi.
Mississippi.
She left
What part of
Mississippi when she was three years old.
What
came
part of
to St.
Mississippi?
Louis.
What part of
West
Mississippi?
Point. West Point.
Okay. I know exactly. Yes.
And she got her bachelor's. She graduated from Jewish Hospital. Went to WashU, got her bachelor's and master's. She had a chance to work on the doctor, but she said, "Send me work on mine." She didn't want to do it. So eventually, she went back and got another master's.
Okay.
So she's now settled. She's retired in '98. She's been retired since '98.
Okay.
So
Well, Dr. Ryan, one thing I'm going to cap this off here. What is your, how old are you, sir?
83. 83. I'll be 84 in May.
Amen. Congratulations.
You know, I know a lot of people that you know personally, you know, from that. Matter of fact, we would be remiss, okay, with our very close friends, okay, that kind of grew up with Mr. Claude Brown this past week, okay. After
Claude and I were in college together.
I know. He had an Olympic career, you know, teams at West I met him at, you know, one of my mentors, you know, and we kind of trained each other, okay. You know, but I ran this Swiss campaign, you know, ran some big rep. And our headquarters got blown up back. Probably everybody was blown up in those days. Okay. You know, and so Claude was a man that, he was a behind the scenes man and very meek and very humble.
Yeah, I remember Claude. Yeah, we were in college together. Yeah. A lot of my friends are gone now, man. He was in Harris at $20 a semester.
Yeah. That $20 semester, okay, just, as a matter of fact, that was a way, well, you know something? That should have got a lot of people going to school.
That built a large middle-class black family grouping in St. Louis.
And they came, a lot of them came from the field.
Teachers College, that's right.
You know, they came from the
Teachers
field.
College. Yeah, $20 a semester. Before that, it was $15. It went up right before I got there, it went up. 15, 20.
Oh, boy.
No, I mean, so no. But that's what and I can tell you the people I went to school with, their kids went to college. Daniel Isom, with both his mother and father were at Harris. They're Harris graduates. His mother and father Harris graduates.
And Dan Isom he was just served as the interim of the secretary from the city of St. Louis, and he just got a job with Antwerp when he vice president.
Right,
So
yeah. His mother and father both were Harris graduates.
Wow.
His father was halfway over the maintenance department. His mother was a teacher.
Well, that's why I know one thing is okay that you probably should write a book, okay, about the alumni of Harris Oak College. Have you done that already? University.
No, I haven't done anything with Harris. That's a gold mine. When we had the 50th anniversary of our class, I knew where the black students were, but the white students had disappeared altogether into woodwork.
Wow.
Because once we graduated, we all went our separate ways. The whites went to white schools, the blacks went to black schools. Okay. And once we finished, we never had contact with each other again.
Wow.
We were integrated in name only. We had our separate gatherings. Our fraternities and sororities were all segregated. And they were the social fabric that kept you together and kept you in school. But we were segregated all the way.
Okay, that's right. So in school, okay, while you guys were in the building, okay, how was that?
What, in the building?
No. And you was at Harris Oak College in those days. The classrooms, were they segregated? Were they separated?
No, they were integrated classes.
Integrated, okay.
Yeah, we had our separate things where we all of us ate in our what we call the Harlem section of the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
We all in our little corner downstairs in the cafeteria.
Okay, yeah.
But everything was integrated except the students. We kind of separated.
You know anything about Franklin School?
That's Washington Tech. You mean old Washington Tech?
Yeah, old Washington Tech. Well, I went there and it was we was the kids, and we had separate recess. We come out. The Indians came out at the time, the whites and the black. That's when I was going to school, and I'm 74.
Okay.
And so am I.
I'm only
you
60.
Young guys. Y'all young. Y'all young.
Well, that's why we saying teach us.
Folks, man.
Get the book.
There are a lot of books out there, man. There's a book called They Came Before Columbus. I tell folks to get that. By Ivan Van Sertima. He's a Guyanese writer. Guyanese, yeah. You'd be surprised. Many islanders know more about history than we do.
Amen.
There's a guy named Ben Jacquemin. He did a book on the Nile, Egypt. He's an Egyptologist. If you take a Nile cruise, take his book with you, you'd know about all the things that the white tour guides won't tell you.
Yep. That's why they told us when we was in Vietnam, go home, black man. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
Every time we went out in the bush, when the white boy led the platoon, all hell broke loose. Black man led the platoon, it was quiet. I'm talking about what I know, not what somebody told me.
Yeah, so you ever been to Vietnam? You've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, I went there to visit. I went out in the field. I know what psychological warfare is. It's how it's played on us when we're there. So no, it's surprising they don't hate us. I mean, it's what we did to them.
Wow.
Yeah,
brother. I want you to go get you some food, man. You know, I don't want to. Thank you for the time. Matter of fact, you will be back, okay? If you be so kind to come back again, teach us some more. So.
Okay, what I'm going to get you guys to do is start buying some books and reading them. If you don't want to buy them, take them from the library. Go to the library, take them out and take them back. Get you some more.
I got a library card too.
Yeah, you don't have to burn. That's for poor folks too. You know, the library so poor folks can get educated.
Yeah, right. That is there.
And so you can know about these communities and know what's happening. But if you don't know, you fall victim. I spoke with a young man who's on the government body up in Blackjack. I said, you know how Blackjack got formed? No.
Oh my God.
Well, I was on the board that when Blackjack was created.
Wow.
We paid $25,000 an acre. It was unincorporated. It was the Blackjack Housing Corporation, Parkview Heights. The church was a sponsor. We paid $25,000 an acre for 11 acres up there, Jamestown and Parker Road. They incorporated to keep us out.
Yeah. And
But the court said you had to build those houses. The complex there was going to be all brick. It's brick and frame now because the money ran out. They told everybody we'd be Pruitt I go out there. You better run. Keep them fighting.
Yeah,
so they incorporated. They incorporated to keep us out.
Right.
He's on the board out there. Doesn't know how the city came about.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I had to tell him, you know, you there because the folks out there didn't want us there.
Go. Scott, you want to say something?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, Dr. Wright, go get you some food.
Okay, I'm gonna get you the book too.
I'm gonna get a book. I got books I read them. Okay. So I'm gonna get some more books about it.
Okay, get you some
That's
books.
what I want. I'm gonna get you some more books, but that's right. I don't want I don't want to do my rights with you. He said, no, you kept me too long. I don't want you to say that and won't come back, but please come back and we'll be talking. You and beautiful wife, my blessings. I love you. Take care of yourself in life.
Okay, take care, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Back. Oh boy, Rebel Lounge, Scott. That was a trip through history. Wow. But St. Louis in the state. And it just was amazing. Scott, let me tell you, what your thoughts about Dr. Wright? They talk about, especially about downtown St. Louis.
He's very intelligent. I'd love to listen to some of his stories and get his book.
Right, yeah. Get his books, okay. Matter of fact, he has different books about different neighborhoods. You know, he has some about the Meacham Park area where my wife grew up. What most things you will find, okay, that the interstate highways in St. Louis went through most of the black community, not just in the city of St. Louis. Like downtown St. Louis, where I mentioned the Mill Creek area with people, but that's where they built the stadium downtown right now, and what it is funny, but he alluded to it, but it's another book I got. There's one book called Black Labor White Book, but another book, a real recent book, that talked about St. Louis, and in St. Louis, you know, they tell the story, and also have maps about St. Louis. It's called Map in Decline. That's the name of the book. It's called Map in MAPPING Decline. A great book. Okay, and it tells you about in St. Louis City. We have an organization downtown called Community Development Association. CDA they call it. Now in the CDA they got LRA, LCRA, CIA, and they got all these different departments up under there. And so in the book it describes, you know, why they created those departments. He said they created, okay, to confuse people. It's in black and white. And guess what? That's what it does, okay? You try to work with the department, okay? And I will say one thing about current mayor Tashara Jones. For the first time in probably 50 more years, she's kind of reorganizing that department downtown, to make it do what it stands for. But it is to help developers, and help, because I was build my projects, I feel like they were working against me, okay? And I was building homes, okay, and even, just speaking, go to Delmar and Vanderbilt. Delmar and Vanderbilt and go west. You see some beautiful homes down there. And the homes that I built is what Dr. Wright was somewhat referring to. Those homes there are all on 150 feet lots. In San Luis City, you're real, you can tell you this, that most lots in St. Louis are maybe 25, 30 feet. That's probably, a little bit over that. But each lot there, we built on 150 feet lot. These people actually have front yard and backyard. They all have garages. And those homes, Scott, as a real estate, my wife and my business partner, Mike Hudson, at the time, they were the realtors on the project. They sold out, okay, before they were built. Just by word of mouth. I mean, people bought, that's how, and we had more people want to buy, but the city refused, okay, to give us the lots. No, sell them to us. We were paying for the lots. They didn't give them to us. We paid for them, and they took the price on the lot, and we were the one that created what they call now North Central West End. That was the name that I came up with, our project, okay, just that I was, me and Mike were talking, that's all, that's West End North.
Is that right?
Right now, CEA.
Is that right?
Yeah, so Central West End North, okay, when you go down Delmar going west, you'll see on both sides, on the especially on the west side, south side of the street, those beautiful homes. We got one that we built for the Alderman Kennedy on Sarah in Washington, and we got I think 3 over there. No, 3 on that street. But on Delmar, primarily, you'll see houses that got nice, beautiful lawns, and when people drive down Delmar and they see come to that section, they see the Indian County someplace. Cause it's just a beautiful area, and I'm proud to say that, okay. But people not aware that we built it, blacks built it, okay, and we didn't get any subsidies to help us build it at the time. No, matter of fact, our families at that time, paid almost well within $250,000 and $500,000, okay, to develop that, with the lawyers, Scott, a lot goes into building a house.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit goes into it, but now, but normally this time of the day, okay, on Saturdays, Chuck people will be coming into the program, but right now Chuck is in Orlando, Florida, working with the Black Business Alliance, which is now created by the National Congress and the National Business League, and they're working now with a lot of black cities from around the world down in Orlando, Florida, and I'm proud to say that our organization is growing tremendously, not just in this country, but around the world. A lot of times you when Chuck comes on the air, I always say he's our global ambassador. Well, there he is, okay. And so he tells us, okay, but then what place he's been. So I can assure you next week when he gets here, he have a lot to talk about. And normally I don't talk about my guests for next week, okay? But if whoever you are, we got a young man that's gonna blow your mind. If you ever bought something on credit, anything, you're gonna be surprised. Real, I'm gonna tell you how this works out. I'm do a little trailer for it. Look at the Deuteronomy, the 15th chapter, and it tells you about debt cancellation. It's in the Bible. Deuteronomy, the 15th chapter, they tell you about in 7 years that death should be forgiven. Now, that started way back in biblical times, but they're still applied now, with you people, with businesses and stuff that they don't tell you about. So
You know what Deuteronomy 15 is, Ira?
Tell me, sir.
It's talking about the Sabbath year. That's what it's talking about, the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about the Sabbath.
But this talking about the Sabbath year, which was a time of rest. But you got a Sabbath. You got the Sabbath that is between the Israelites and God.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said that.
I got a lesson on that too.
Okay, well, that's excuse me, come next Saturday, okay? We're gonna do talk about a little bit about that, okay? And so we got some good guests.
Well, I'll bring something out about the Sabbath, and the Sabbath don't have nothing to do with the church.
Well,
That's why people go to church on Saturday. Your Church of God in Christ, they use that to get their point over, but they don't even know what they talking about. Look out!
Rev, just like Dr. Wright just said, okay, there's a councilman in Black councilman in Blackjack that has no idea about the history of Blackjack.
Yep.
I probably know more in the council about Blackjack, okay? But when Dr. Wright was saying that the initial plan for Puerto was part 2. Excuse me. The first part was built in the city, and the second part was going to be built in the St. Louis County. Mm-hmm. And they had a county Puerto and a city Puerto.
Yep.
And the word got out about that they were going to go to North County and build up there. That's when the people in that area, okay, came together for the first time and created some covenants and stuff that exists today, okay, that says you cannot get all these bumps up. And those are like high rises that Frudago was they say it had to be blown up. But they spent over $30-some million. So, and when they built those, there was a way to serve black folks when they moved up from the Mill Creek area. When they built up, the baseball stadium right now, baseball park buildings and all that stuff over there now. Well, when they was building out, getting ready to build that stuff there, they had to put the black folks someplace. And so they moved them to the Puerto area. And for the first time, we had blacks living in high rises, elevators, and like you said, the elevators most of the time were broke, so you had to carry your groceries up 3 or 4, 7 steps.
You had to walk up.
You had to walk
up. Smelly gay stairways, smelly urine, all kind of mess.
All matter of fact, they had some floors they would have gang members and meeting in some places, okay. And I know this, okay. Some of my family lives down there in Puerto. So I'm not telling you secondhand information about how bad it was down there. You know what I mean? But also, I read the book, A Map in Decline, that tells you why Puerto was created and why it was destroyed and why there was no part 2. And that's why they did some countries in the country we did it in, but it was a failure to put all those people in, just stacking on top of each other like sardines in one area. And
you got a lot of that all over the world too.
Yes, they do, but now they're doing it still, okay. They do it in moderation, okay. But here, they just did not maintain the elevators, and all of those stuff. It just was a big old mess.
Yep, it was.
A big old mess, and people saying a lot of people can tell you some stories, about the living down there, But like Dr. Wright said, put it in the book, and I had to read Dr. Wright on many occasions. He used to come out of my office at our TV station as a guest on many times, and God, that's why I was telling you this morning now as he's educated, you can see people want his skills all around the world. So he was like an international educator, you know what I mean? And I just was proud to say I know him, okay, and just listen to him, with this, teach you a whole lot. So now, right now, we got a couple seconds here. Since, Rev, give me your, Scott and Rev, give me you guys' thoughts about this Memphis. It's just a bad situation down in Memphis, and it shows how bad, and the police department has some bad apples, can destroy, the police department. Because right now I've been in Memphis many times, like we all have. And this is, and I'm proud of Memphis. Okay, so far they did not do any rioting. That's the thing that we here in St. Louis, Ferguson, Missouri, became a thing. They said, don't do Ferguson no more. Don't do that. Don't fear the neighborhoods.
Well, I hope everybody's learned.
Right. Because West End doesn't make it. Well, your gas station where you buy gas at, your grocery store where you shop at, and now they're not too many black stores, grocery stores in the black community. So why tear them up? I mean, we don't have that many resources in our neighborhood. You're talking about food deserts, okay, but like here in St. Louis, in most of St. Louis, North County right now, it's like a desert. And as a matter of fact, here in St. Louis, we don't have like two real known grocery chains, and only one of them serves the city. I mean, so we have some serious issues here, that I brought up today, and this is the show. I just want to talk to people about everything is local, and this has been like a local show about St. Louis, on both sides of the river, even in the Cool Valley. I mentioned the mayor out there who had promised, that he made these promises, but he had promised that he's going to give everybody out there, $1,000 Bitcoin. Well, understand, you don't give Bitcoin. I'm right. I think a little bit about Bitcoins, don't you?
Well, the blockchain theory is that you have to have it in your wallet, and a lot of people can't use it. Whether you have the Bitcoin or not, if you can't use it, it's no good.
Thank you, sir. So anyway, the city council out there just voted him out of office this past week. And then he did some other things besides that. One, they gave him a police car, a car to drive, and he abused that also. And he also did for the city. A lot of people get in this position, they forget, they want to have that title. But we all know if you get a title, and work goes with that title. And people respect you to expect you to. You understand, when you become an elected official, you work for the people. People listen to what they tell you to do. That's how you get reelected and stuff.
Amen.
And that's how people stay there a long time. They make their people happy. They bring them up or give them what they need in their particular field in their county. And like also, I'm happy to Missouri Comrades, I think all the people who have supported us in Haytown, Missouri, I'm happy to report that we purchased the Makers land last year, and we are now working now on being another business in Haytown, Missouri, black business. We've been on a Broadband Institute, and right now that's coming up off the ground.